Have you ever noticed those little things you do every day? Brushing your teeth, checking your phone first thing in the morning, that cup of coffee to kickstart your day. They might seem insignificant, but what if I told you they are the building blocks of your life? That's exactly what we're going to explore today through a fantastic book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. This isn't just a book review, it's more like a treasure map that reveals how these small habits can lead us to big successes. We'll dive into the mechanics of habit formation, discuss the 4 laws of behavior change, and share some practical tips to shape your own atomic habits. We'll also tackle the hard part, sticking to new habits and maintaining them. And believe me, by the end of this video, you'll see your daily routines in a completely new light. So, if you're up for an adventure into the realm of habits, stick around. Let's find out together how tiny changes can bring about massive results. It's going to be a fascinating ride. Habits, as defined by psychologists, are automatic behaviors or routines that are performed regularly, often without conscious thought. They play a vital role in our lives by freeing up cognitive resources for other tasks. But how are habits formed and reinforced? The neuroscience behind habits lies in a part of our brain known as the basal ganglia. When we perform an action repeatedly, the neurons in our brain begin to fire together, creating a neural pathway. The more we repeat the action, the stronger this pathway becomes, until the behavior becomes automatic, a habit. This process can be best understood through the habit loop, a concept introduced by Charles Duhigg in his book The Power of Habit. The habit loop consists of 4 stages: cue, craving, response, and reward. For instance, let's consider a daily routine like brushing your teeth. The cue might be waking up in the morning. This triggers a craving to feel clean, which leads to the response, brushing your teeth. The reward is the fresh feeling in your mouth, reinforcing the habit loop. Now, what about atomic habits? Coined by James Clear in his book of the same name, the term refers to tiny, incremental changes that may seem insignificant in the short run, but can yield significant results over time. For instance, reading just 10 pages a day may not seem much, but over a year, it adds up to over 3,650 pages, enough to complete several books. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, introduces the 4 laws of behavior change, principles that can help us form new positive habits or break away from the negative ones. Let's delve into each of these laws and understand them with relatable examples. Make it obvious. This law is about making the cues of your habits clear and noticeable. For instance, if you want to cultivate a reading habit, keeping a book on your bedside table makes the cue obvious. You see the book before going to sleep, reminding you of your intention to read. Make it attractive. The more appealing the prospective outcome, the more likely you are to follow through with the habit. Let's say you want to exercise regularly. Instead of thinking about the strenuous workout, visualize the benefits, a healthier, fitter you. You could also make the process attractive by watching your favorite show while working out, making the experience enjoyable. Make it easy. This law emphasizes reducing friction for good habits and increasing it for bad ones. If you're aiming to eat healthier, prep your meals in advance. When you're hungry, it's easier to grab a pre-made healthy meal from your fridge than to order fast food. On the other hand, if you want to reduce your screen time, keep your phone in another room when you're working or studying. The effort to fetch it will make the bad habit harder to indulge in. Make it satisfying. Positive reinforcement plays a vital role in habit formation. We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. For example, if you're trying to save money, transfer a small amount into your savings account each time you resist an impulse purchase. Watching your savings grow can be very satisfying and encourages you to keep up with the habit. Each of these laws works together, creating a system that can lead you towards successful habit formation. Remember, the goal is not to perfect each law but to make a little progress in each. Over time, these small changes can yield significant results, helping you create your desired habits and break away from the undesired ones. Implementing atomic habits might seem daunting at first, but with practical steps and strategies like the 2-minute rule and habit stacking, you can integrate these small changes seamlessly into your daily routines. The 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule is a strategy that can help make new habits easy to start. The idea is to scale down your habit until it can be done in 2 minutes or less. For instance, if your goal is to read more, start by reading just 1 page a day. If you want to exercise more, start with 2 minutes of stretching. The logic behind this rule is that once you start doing something, it's easier to continue doing it. Reading 1 page often leads to reading a chapter, and 2 minutes of stretching can turn into a full workout. By making it easy to start, you're more likely to follow through. Habit stacking is another effective strategy for maintaining new habits. The concept involves linking a new habit to an existing one, creating a sequence of actions that you perform one after the other. For example, if you want to cultivate a habit of meditating, you could stack it onto your existing habit of having a morning cup of coffee. So your routine would be: make a cup of coffee, then meditate for 5 minutes. The existing habit, having coffee, acts as a cue for the new habit, meditating, making it easier to remember and follow through. Forming new habits can be a challenging journey filled with obstacles. However, understanding these challenges and learning how to navigate them can significantly increase your chances of success. Forming new habits can feel like a battle, right? You're fired up with good intentions, ready to make changes, but then life happens. Procrastination creeps in, time slips away, motivation wanes, and before you know it, that promising new habit has fizzled out. Sound familiar? But what if I told you there's a way to sidestep these common pitfalls? We'll start with procrastination, that pesky habit of "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow seems like a magical place where all our best intentions will finally happen, right? But let's bring it back to today with a principle called "make it easy." The idea is to kickstart your new habit with tasks so simple and doable they can be completed in just 2 minutes or less. Want to start exercising? Begin with a 2-minute walk around the block. It's not about the intensity, it's about taking that first step. Now let's tackle the big one: motivation. It's like a roller coaster, right? One day you're fired up, ready to change the world, and the next you're struggling to leave the couch. But here's the game changer: focus on the system, not the goal. Instead of being driven by the end result, find satisfaction in the process itself. You'll create a self-perpetuating cycle of motivation that keeps you moving forward, one small step at a time. And what about when things go wrong? Spoiler alert, they will, and that's okay. Setbacks are not roadblocks, they're speed bumps. They might slow you down, but they won't stop you. When you stumble, don't beat yourself up, dust off, and get right back on track. Remember, consistency is key. It's not about perfection, it's about progress.